When I was a small child, I used to love sitting in my grandmother's lap, listening to her stories about Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty, and comfortably fall asleep. As I grew up, my passion for stories became greater because they are unforgettable memories of my childhood. On my 8th birthday, when I was still a beginner student in English, I received a special gift from my parents. Ebooks about the fairy tales about which my grandmother would tell me. I still remember how happy I was at the time, and the moments when I buried my nose in those books, which were both familiar and strange because they were written in a different language. At the end of grade 3, I got the highest marks in my class as regards English, and my teacher was surprised when I knew how to read and write such words as prince, princess, cruel witch, and magic wand. Even now, I still read stories in English as a useful resource for learning English, and I believe they can aid others a lot in improving their English, just like how they helped me. It is also what this post is about. Steps to learn English through stories. Choose stories you like. One of the mistakes that are frequently made by aspiring good English learners is that they always look for classic novels to read, such as Harry Potter or Gone with the Wind, because they are highly recommended by others. However, the range of vocabulary in those books is too wide and difficult, not to mention the use of metaphors and figurative language, making it challenging for beginners to understand, and they will be discouraged. In fact, students can choose stories they like without bothering with others' opinions, because they can only derive fun and pleasure from their likes, thus learning new things effectively. Feel free to read any kind of books, whether they are comic books, fairy tales, or funny stories, as long as they are in English. No one is able to absorb knowledge thoroughly by means of stress and dislike. So listen to your heart and go for what you are interested in. Read and learn. The main part has arrived. You do not need to rush into reading too fast or set such goals as finish the book series, The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, in 1 week. This action only leads to discomfort and ineffectiveness because you always force yourself to accomplish your aims and learn nothing new after all. Just read calmly and slowly so that you can have time to reflect on what you have read. Also, make sure you only look up words or expressions that are important for you to understand the author's intentions instead of understanding all words, as you may be bored of that because there are too many. It is advisable for you to keep a notebook of these words and remember to learn them by heart for future use. There will be no improvements if you just read books and take no notes, as there will not be anything for you to revise. Practice and apply what you learned. Reading and taking notes are good, but are incomplete without practice, which is the difference between the ordinary and extraordinary. Indeed, only by practicing will you be able to get ahead in any field, not only learning English. Reading. Of course, you can enhance your reading skills when you read books. The more you practice reading stories, the more you can get used to the use of words, thus quickening your speed and your ability to understand the stories. Writing, you can apply the words you acquired through reading and the style with which you are most familiar to your own writings. You can also write your own stories and publish them online to share with people. Whoever knows if they will make a good impression on readers? And what if you have a talent for writing stories? Speaking. Try to better your speaking skills, especially your intonation and speed, by recording the stories you like. Have somebody listen to them for you to check if they understand you, especially your English teacher. Your teacher of English is okay too, and friends from overseas. If they do, then congratulations. Your efforts have paid off, but if they don't, just go for some more practice and you will see your progress soon. Make it fun and consistent. Learning a new language can be challenging, but it doesn't have to feel like a chore. The key is to make it enjoyable and to stay consistent. Set small, achievable goals, like reading one short story or a few pages each day. The more regularly you read, the more naturally the language will come to you. Keep the atmosphere light and fun by switching between different genres and story types. Whether it's a fairy tale, a mystery, or even a comic book, the variety will keep you motivated and interested. Discuss with others. Once you've read and understood a story, try discussing it with others. Whether it's with friends, a teacher, or an online language learning community, conversations about what you've read help deepen your understanding. You can exchange ideas, clarify doubts, and learn new expressions. Plus, hearing how others interpret the same story can offer fresh perspectives. Set personal milestones. Set personal learning milestones to keep track of your progress. For example, after reading 10 stories, test yourself on new vocabulary or challenge yourself to write a summary of each one. Celebrate these small wins, as they will keep you motivated and show how much you've improved over time. By following these steps, anyone can turn their love for stories into a powerful tool for mastering English. Stories make learning enjoyable and give us endless opportunities to practice. As you mentioned, they were a big part of your childhood, and now they can be part of your language learning journey.